To the picture, we need to trace it, and we want to also break it up into 3 different layers. So that's what we're going to do here. The back layer, background in this case, is going to be these rolling hills. The middle layer is the mountains, and then the picture is the front layer. And in our project, we're breaking it up into 3 layers. So the first thing I want to do is trace these curves. So here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to the curvature tool right there, curvature tool. And then I'm going to go over here to the stroke area, make sure that I have red selected. And yes, red is selected. I'm using 1 point fill. So let's start tracing this. I'll go to the edge, click, and start drawing. This thing will help me get my points. Go up here. Various points throughout this. I'm going to go to this edge, and now I'm going to hit escape the upper left key, ESC. And that will end that line right there. All right, and now I want to draw the rest of this because I need to cut out a whole block here. So I'm going to use the pen tool over here on the left. That's going to give me straight lines. I need to make straight lines with the pen tool. So I'm also making it red, so I'm just going to click on the anchor here and go to the edge and draw to connect these last parts. So now I'm done with that. So there are my parts. Let me see if I need to adjust some of these mountains. So I'm going to play around with these. So I click over here, the specific direct selection tool, and I'm going to try to adjust this right here. Now I'm not really good at this, so let's see how this works. See if I can get that to go up a little better. And it looks good enough for now. So I'm going to click outside of it, and that looks good for rolling mountains. So what I want to do also is I want to go ahead and select this whole area. So I go to the selection tool, upper left here, and I want to move it over to another art board or another board. So I'm going to select it by dragging this like so, and selecting it, it is selected. I'm going to move it off the screen, so I'll go down to the left here and change this area here. Let's make sure you can see it. I'm going to change this area way down here on the left to not 100%, but like 50% so I can see everything. Or I can also go to View, change that. So I want to move this over, and to do that I have to take my selection tool, move by the path, click and drag. So I move it over here. Then I'm going to go ahead and go to this section right here, the artboard tool, and select that and click and drag around my drawing. So now I can see it easily. Now it's the first layer. This is my back layer. So this is a big piece of wood that's going to be the background of my here, and it is traced. So now I want to do these jagged mountains. So what I need to do is I need to go and get a little better view. So I can go down to the lower left here and change it to 100%. I also can change the view here, zoom in, and then I'm a little bit off, so I hold shift. It turns into a hand. I click and drag and can move the thing over. So I zoomed in a little bit. Now I'm going to trace this mountain layer. Now this is going to have 2 things. It's going to have a cut part and a drawing part. First thing I'm going to do is a cut part. So I need to use the pen tool here, not the curved one, because everything here is straight lines. So I'm going to go over here to the right, make sure that my stroke is red still. My stroke is red still, and my fill is nothing. I got to be careful too because this is selected. So I don't want to, there we go. And I'm going to go pen. So I'm going to start down here because this, my cut here on this other block is in the background is all the way over here down. I'm going to start on this edge right here and just go over to, let's just say, the outside of this, because I'm going to trace in the middle later on. So this is the cut. I'm just cutting the outline outside. Over there, there, there. Going to go to the edge there and then across. Let's just say to there, then down, over, and close it. So now that's my red layer. Go back up to Selection Tool, and what I want to make sure is it's red. So I clicked outside of it, and I'm going to go click it, and then you see that it's selected, and I'm going to lock it. So I'm going to go and lock this selection. So Object, Lock, Selection. Good. So I don't want to mess around with it. Now I'm going to change the pen color because I don't want to cut anymore, but I want to draw on the piece of wood with a laser cutter. So I need to change my color. I'll go back to my pen. I'm still using straight lines. I'm going to use the pen tool, not the curvature tool. And I'm going to go here, instead of having the red color in the stroke over here on the right side, I'll click on the red color but make it black now. And that is going to be my next color. I just click anywhere right now and the thing goes away. So I'm going to go to the pen tool. I'm going to start here and I'm making it, I'll just go right in the middle. So this is going to draw lines. So this is a little tricky. So click there, down, and I'm going to end it here. Then I'm going to hit the escape button, ESC in the upper left of the keyboard, ESC. That'll let me start a new path and line. So I hit ESC. Might need to do it a couple of times if it seems like it's drawing still. I'm going to start up here, because sometimes it doesn't like to connect from there to up here. Let's try though. I'm going to start here and click, it says path, so I'll click there, and it doesn't want to start there. So I'm going to click up here, go back to it, hit escape again. Then I'm going to see if I can draw another starting point here. Click there, go all the way down to there, and hit escape ESC again. Now I don't see it's still connected, so I hit escape again. So now I'm going to go backwards to connect to this because it doesn't like to click there and allow me to draw a line. So I'm going to start at the back and make my last line here. That ought to do it. So now escape one last time. Then I'm going to go to Selection Tool here, Selection, and I'm going to look at that line. It looks too thin to draw, like you wouldn't really see that. So I'm going to select all of it. So I'll drag a box around this, click and drag a box around it, and I'm going to change the stroke. So it's all of these are selected. You'll know if you didn't in a second here. I'm going to change the stroke over here on the right side to not 1 point. Let's just try 5, maybe more. Let's go up a few times. That looks pretty good. So more than that, I think it'll be too dark. So I'm going to, looks like I've got it all selected still. And I'm going to go and I'm going to unlock everything because the red one was unlocked, and then select it all and make it a group. So I'm clicking outside of it, so nothing is selected right now. I'm click and drag around it to select all the red and the black. And then I'm going to say Object Group. And like I did with the other thing, I'm going to drag it over and then make a board out of it. So I'll push the space bar to move this picture over a little. And then I'm going to click and drag somewhere on one of the paths. And I can see that the red is going to be a cutout piece of wood, and inside of that will be these drawings. Now I'm going to make a artboard around it. And that is it for myself for the final layer. And this one's kind of difficult, so I'm going to zoom in on it a little bit. See over here, I got a zoom spectacle here. Let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. So I clicked and I dragged over there in the upper left. And it seemed like it zoomed. Sometimes it doesn't zoom correctly, so remember we can hold down the space bar and move this thing around. The next thing I want to do is I want to select somewhere in here so that all my other stuff's not selected and it isn't affected by anything I do right now. Alright, so here we go. Time to try to trace these guys. I still need a, this is the front layer, so I need this to be kind of low, remembering that it's going to be in the front layer. If I cut out way up here a block, then everything down here will be hidden. So I'm going to cut out down here. So let's go, it looks like it's red stroke and no fill. Let's see how thick it's going to be. I think I have all lines, so I'm just going to use the pen tool. So here we go. Here goes nothing. And it's 1 point stroke. I look over here, it's 1 point stroke, which is good. I don't want it to be super thick. So maybe I'll start over here just to begin the cutout. Yeah, it's a better point. So click there. I'll go over, down. Remember, like before, all these things are going to rest on the bottom. Can we go up? Now I want to stay low, so I don't know exactly where that is. Looks like right about there. It helps me by giving a little bit of a guideline. So again, I'm only cutting the outside, then I'm going to draw the other inside part with black. So click, just the outside. Outside. This goes all the way down to here. Can't see it, so it's kind of tough. Clicking on the corners, all the way down, I'm going to close it. Okay, so that's the part I'm going to cut out. So I'm going to select, I'm going to go to Object, Lock. So I don't want anybody messing with this now, and no matter what I do, it won't affect it. So now I'm going to go over here and change the stroke to black. I'm not sure how thick to make it. Maybe I'll make it a little thicker than 1. Let's make 3. And what I now want to do is I want to draw these houses. So I found that it's hard to connect things when they're halfway along. So I'm just going to start at the bottom and draw the house. And I don't know how good this is going to look, but away we go. So I'm going to draw the outline first. Kind of in the middle like I did before. I think. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Click here. Up. Over. There. Okay, I'm just drawing the outlines. This is what I'll see as a black line on my drawing. So I'll click select, see what it's going to look like. And anyway, that's a start. So let's keep drawing. Take my pen tool. I'm going to keep going here. I don't think I can draw from the middle, but I think I can draw from an edge here. So let's see how that works. From an anchor. So go there, up, over, click. Looks good. I'm going to hit Escape ESC to disconnect the tool. And then I'm going to connect from here. This is going to take away that anchor, so I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to stick with what I have here. Maybe start there, draw to here. That seemed to work. Same thing, I'll try the same here. And if it, let's see, it looks like it wants to do it. I'm gonna hold shift so it stays perpendicular. If I hold shift, it'll say perpendicular. So it looks pretty good for that. I feel like I might want that to be a little thicker, or not. I'm just gonna keep it like it is. So I hit escape because I don't want to keep drawing the line. Now I've got to draw these little windows and the other things. I think I can copy paste them, but I think they're going to be solid. I wonder how, I think I'll just draw a little box. So I've got the polygon tool here, rectangle. I hold it down. I hold down right there and it gives me options. Now I'll draw a little rectangle. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit too. Let's see what happens. So I'll try to draw a rectangle. And now I want to decide, is it going to look better like that? Like little windows like that? I think so. Let's try it. So I'll select it, and now I'm going to copy, because I'm in the selection tool, Command C, and then paste it, Command V, and I got to move it by the center. Cool. So I'm going to select both of these at the same time by dragging around both. I'm going to go to Command C, or like go up here, edit, copy. Now I'm going to paste. Now it's way over there, but I can drag it by one of these little center points and match it up. Okay, I need to shift it. So I'm going to use the arrow keys on the keyboard to move it just a little bit. Now I'm going to paste again. So I can paste more than once. Paste. I have another set for this last two. That looks pretty cool. So now I'm going to select all of them. I click outside of it to unselect. I'm going to click and drag around them. Depending on how many I need some here. So I'm going to Command C or edit, copy. Now edit, paste. I have a set of 6. So I'll grab it, use them from over here. I have a bunch more, so I'll edit, paste again. So I'm just going to use the ones I already made to help me out. Alright, so I'll click outside of it. Now I need just 2 and then like a set of 4 here. So I can get a set of 4 by just selecting 4 right there and copying and pasting. So I'll do that. And I'll paste again. And there's 4 there. And I'm just going to grab 2 right here. Copy and paste. And then drag it over there. Remember, you have to drag from this little middle blue line. Okay. Alright, so let's draw this door. I think that I'll just make totally solid, a big solid line. So I'm going to try the pen tool. See what I could do here. I'll hold shift to make it perpendicular. That looks good. I'll hit escape because I don't want to draw anymore. So now that it's selected, I want to make it thick. So I'm going to go to stroke, way over here. There we go, it's really thick. So looking good. I'll hit the selection tool. Now I'm going to copy paste it to the other spaces here. So click to choose it. And then copy paste. You drag it on a path. Then Command V again. Drag it at that center point. Okay, so it looks pretty good right now. I don't think I have anything else to trace. Okay, looks like I'm close to done. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock the red line and everything else. Now I'm going to click and drag around this whole guy here. And then I'm going to group it because I want it to move as one. Then I'm going to zoom out. So I've got to zoom out like this. So I'm going to zoom out. I think I can say fit on screen. Nope. Let me just see. Let's say 50%. Then push that. Alright, so now when the last artboard, I'm just going to drag all this stuff down. So find a path and click and drag. I think that's going to look pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to put the artboard around it. And now we're ready to begin the export phase. So I'm going to save this whole thing because I don't want to forget to do that. I should have been doing that the whole time. So save, save.